Quick hits. Hobby quick hits. Hobby quick hits.
It's time for Hobby Quick Hits. Hobby Quick Hits. A sports card podcast where we tackle the hobby's hottest topics in depth to help you navigate the sports card landscape and enjoy the hobby we all love. Here's your host, John Newman.
All right, welcome to another edition of Hobby Quick Hits. Today's episode, I'm going to call it the pre-national episode. What I'm going to talk about, kind of things I'm planning to do at the National, some things I want to see at the National. And I'm not just talking booths or setups, but things going on in the hobby. You know, where the prices are at, that sort of thing. I'll save it for once we get into the meat of the episode, but just sort of a precursor to the National, things I'm planning to do, things I want to see, in terms of current market conditions and sort of a game plan. I'll do probably a post-National one where we kind of come back and compare notes, if you will. But before we get the episode started, want to hear from our awesome sponsor, Mojo Breaks. We'll be back with the show after we hear from Mojo. Hey folks, wanted to tell you about the best place to get some of your sealed sports card wax products. Great selection and some of the lowest prices on the web. MojoBreakShop.com is that place. Whether it's a box or a whole case, they're your guys, and they ship around the world right to your door. The Mojo Break name is one of the most trusted in the hobby. From sports cards to Pokemon, their selection can't be beat. They offer daily deals and pre-orders. Who won first place at this year's Topps Rip Party? None other than Mojo Break. Their prices are already great, but here's a way to save even more money. Use the code QUICKHITS, that's QUICKHITS, for 10% off anything on MojoBreakShop.com. They also have a full-service card shop in Santa Clara, California. So if you're in the area, stop by. They're open 7 days a week, so check them out at MojoBreakShop.com. All right, let's talk about the National in Chicago. I don't know about you, but I'm excited for it. And you know, when we think about it, we think it was canceled 1 year, but in a sense, it's 2 years. It's been 2 years since a National occurred. It last occurred, obviously, 2019 in Chicago as well. The Atlantic City one was canceled last year. So it's been 2 calendar years pretty much, a little short of that, between one National to this one. And I think, like most people, we're kind of, I think everyone's looking to go, right, as much as they can. And, sure, there's going to be some people a little bit leery with the pandemic going on. Some might sit it out. That's par for the course and understandable. Not criticizing those folks. Everyone has different opinions on things. Some people will wear masks even if they're not required. I get that as well too. To each their sort of own. But I think the hobby in general is really excited for this. As you probably have heard or know, many of the 5-day VIP and Super VIP, they're sold out. Really, all that's left are single-day passes, and that's saying something. I believe that's the first time that's ever happened, and so I expect quite a few crowd, a big crowd to be there. I did a poll on the Twitter version of Sports Card Nation, and I asked, "Are you going to the National?" And I got a lot more no's than yeses. That sort of surprised me. But again, the hobby is vast and big, and it's going to be not short of attendance. Let's put it that way. So I'm excited. This year I'm going for the full week. The last time I went, 2019, I was there for three and a half days. So I'll be there longer. I think by going longer for me, less urgency to kind of do everything quickly, right? You have some time. You don't have to rush. You can be a little bit more loose with the itinerary. I'm going to be doing a main stage show with Brody the Kid. That will be Thursday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, 30 minutes. That'll be fun. I'm also going to appear on a couple other podcasts as a guest. So always a good time. And let's call a spade, right? And one of the things about the National that a lot of people honestly go for. Obviously, we're going for cards, and no one goes to the National and doesn't buy something. I mean, how could you do that? But I think most of the time, a lot of times when you go to the National, it's for that socialization, right? Meet people maybe for the first time in person. Meet people again that you haven't, it's the one time a year you get to see them and be in the same place with that many hobbies. And really think about it. I call the National the Super Bowl of the hobby, and it really, really is. And when you think about it, it's probably the most hobbyists in one place you're ever going to have at the same time. And that's an event in itself. You got all your corporate people, grading companies, the card manufacturers, supply companies, specialty companies who make cases or graded accessories. I mean, anything, that's pertaining to the hobby is usually going to have a corporate presence. You're going to have giveaways. You're going to have box breaks. You're going to have social media. You're going to have content creation all in one place at one time for a week. It's going to be, hobby overload, and we're going to love every minute of it, right? And that's the beauty of it. That's the fun. We're all going to be tired when we get back home. Even if you live locally, you're probably going to be tired. And really looking forward to it. And looking forward to meeting folks. And I'll say this on this show. I've said it on my other shows. If you see me and you know who I am and you want to say hello, I'd be more happy to talk to you. I'm a people person. I love to talk hobby. Tell me what you like, don't like, that sort of thing. Ask me my opinion. That's all you get. I'm not. There are no experts in this profession, contrary to what other people will tell you. And so the National is just one big celebration of the hobby for a week. You're going to have, autograph guests. You're going to see, and this year is going to be interesting because you're going to see some top 2020 artists there. You're going to see some celebrities, I think, on the floor. Gary V, whether you love him or hate him, will be set up again as well. And just going to be again, one big, huge hobby presence of everything that pertains to the hobby. If it's happenings in the hobby, whether it's content creation or breaking or anything else, you're going to find it there. And you're going to have your auction houses there with some incredible cards. You're going to have your grading card companies there with incredible long lines, even with the crazy high submission prices. Not going to stop them. And so it's just going to be a lot of fun. I don't even know really where to begin. I have sort of a few cards I'm specifically looking for. They're on my list. Doesn't mean I'll get them all. But you got to have some sort of game plan going in. And definitely, going to be wearing some show gear, have some swag. Got some T-shirts to give the folks, and stickers and business cards and poker chips. And so come up to me, see what I got, maybe get some free swag. But that's the other great thing about the show. A lot of free swag given out. And I got a feeling with last year's being canceled, there's going to be some extra free swag from some of these companies that had some stuff that they planned to give away last year that they were unable to. So it's going to be fun. One of the things I want to see, we know kind of where the market conditions are. Some things have went down price-wise, right? Cards, in some cases between 20 and 40%. Not everything, but a good percentage of stuff, even vintage. A lot of people are debating that it hasn't affected the vintage side of the house, but, and talking to my friend Mike Moynihan, He showed me a graph and a chart. The guy is not a liar. And he showed that it's affecting the vintage niche as well. So nothing's unaffected. We've seen even wax kind of come down to, I don't want to say normal, but more normal than ever sort of prices. And so it's going to be interesting for me. One of the things I'm going to look for, I'm sure I'm probably not the only one, but this is how my mind works. I want to see, and maybe my mind works like this, folks, because I'm a dealer too, right? I set up at shows as well. I'm not set up at this show, but I do have a dealer mindset. And it'd be interesting to see what the dealers do price-wise. Do they match kind of comps, which have, again, come down? Or are they going to try to price high and then come down figuring people will haggle? So there's a lot of ways to go. Remember, there's a lot of tables. So I don't want to paint with a broad brush. 50 people might be doing one plan of attack, and then you get 5 sort of doing whatever. But I want to see the general pulse of the room with comps and what people are asking for their cards. And it's going to be interesting. Be prepared. The vloggers with their selfie sticks and video cams will be, and tripods, I'm sure, will be around every corner. It can get monotonous. I'm not going to lie. I love content creation. The people that do it are putting in the work. It's not a slight to them at all. But, when I went to Dallas a month and a half ago, around every turn it seemed like there was another camera rolling. And, I don't know, you're just filming, looking through boxes or talking to dealers or just looking at a showcase. For me, there's sort of a threshold point, right? Now, if it's a big transaction, a big deal going down that you want to document, I get it. Or you're doing an interview with a dealer at their table, which, depending on the opinion, one person might say, that's not the time or place. Someone else may say, hey, that's reality. Whatever side of the aisle you fall on. There's going to be tons of cameras, tons of things going on. Stuff at the main stage, which I invite you to see. And I'm not just talking when I'm there and Brody and everybody. There's going to be a lot of great people doing some great things. It's going to be very informative. A lot of the corporate places are going to have interactive stuff that you can do. Again, we'll have to see. The other thing I want to see too is, we're still in the pandemic, folks. I know, we're maybe on the best side of it we've been since it really, broke out. But it's going to be interesting to see the difference with the National going on during the pandemic. What might we not see? I heard somebody's report there may not be any silver or gold packs from Panini. I hope that's not the case, but those kind of things. What are we going to see that we're used to, but because of the pandemic, it's not going to occur? And I want to see that. Does someone not, show up? A corporate president not show up to the National? I don't know. I think most people will. I'll even speak to Upper Deck. Initially, Chris Carlin mentioned that the Upper Deck most likely wouldn't be there. This was a few months back, and they've announced they will be there, and they're actually running a summer-fall promo pack that I talked about on Sports Card Nation. So I think 90% of corporate presence will be there, and I suspect, a high percentage of collectors and hobbyists will make the trip as well. I think people, after 16, 17 months of quarantine or some freedoms kind of being handcuffed and not being able to certain things, are really looking forward to the opportunity to get out there, to do a little travel as well. I think that's why you're seeing some of these regional shows do as well as they have. Dallas, Atlanta, Wisconsin, and our first show here in New York happened last month. Really, really small one. Ramada. I didn't set up, just 30 tables, but I didn't get to go. I had some plans those 2 days, but it's nice to see things sort of kind of picking up again, even here on a small local level, small show. The next big show will be here locally, will be September 12th at the New York State Fairgrounds, about a 100 table event. I will be set up as a state tax collector and dealer at that show. It will be my first show as a dealer in probably 2 years now. Because it was about 6 months even before the pandemic hit that I didn't do a show. So looking forward to seeing how that goes. Looking forward to seeing where the market is. I talked about, hey, let's see what the dealers are going to price their stuff at. That's a two-sided coin, right? Where is, Mike Summer was recently on Sports Car Nation, and he made a point that how many people are coming to National to more socialize than transact, right? It's a great point. We sometimes don't even think about that. Till I heard it, I really didn't think of that. So what percentage of people are there really just to meet people, hang out, go to some parties, after parties, trade nights, right? And how many people are really there with sort of a buyer's mindset, right? Hey, I want to buy a bunch of stuff. And I'll let you in on something. I really didn't advertise this outwardly, but I've actually shut off my buying. I buy a lot of stuff, not to posture or brag or whatever. I'm a big buyer of cards, and for the last 6 weeks leading up to this National, I really didn't buy anything. I was still selling some stuff, but I really shut off my buying. I didn't go on I take that back. I don't want to phrase it like that. I went on eBay to complete my sales and print out, packing slips and ship stuff that people purchased off eBay or other platforms. But I have not bought anything in 6 weeks. One exception, I did buy some of the Jackie Robinson Game Within the Games from Topps. But other than that, maybe a minor exception, I really have shut off my buying. And why? The premise is I want to buy more in person at the National. But again, what I'm interested in to see is, am I going to be able to? Right? I'm not going to overspend just because I'm there. Maybe some people would fall sort of into that, I don't want to say trap, but into that category. But I still want to get the best deal I can, right? We all work hard for our money, whatever you do, and as do I. And so I don't want to just overspend, overpay for something just because I like it or want it. And so, I'm going to come into the show with purchasing on my mind and certain things that are on my list or in my head that I'm looking for. And but will I be able to get them? Will these dealers be at the price level that the market is at? And so that will be the thing. And here's the thing I'll say, and I'm all I'm pro dealer. I am a dealer. If they don't want to be in that comp area, right? We all have that choice, right? We can, I hate to say it, but go to the secondary market and just get it there. And so I hope the dealers do, because I want to see transactions happen on that show floor. I want to be part of that process. I want to spend money. I'm bringing money to spend, quite frankly. I'm going to be there 5 days, and 1 or 2 days, honestly, is going to be me just really looking at stuff with the intent to bring stuff back to New York with me. Some stuff PC, some stuff other, just inventory purchases, right? Both. And so I'm hoping I get to do that on the level I would love to, and be interesting. It's one of the things I want to see, as I previously mentioned. So whatever reason you're going to the National, hope I get to meet you, hope I get to see you there. I'm a very approachable guy. Say hi, come right up. I don't bite. Unless around lunchtime or dinner time, then all bets are off. But all joking aside, I'm a very social person and friendly guy, and love to talk to you, life, hobby, whatever's on your mind. So with that being said, we'll see you here in Chicago. Take care. Enjoy the show. Hey, folks, thanks for listening to the show. Wanted to give out our social media links where you can follow the show even when you're not listening to it. On Twitter, we are at Hits Hobby, HitsHobby. On Instagram, we are at Hobby Quick Hits Podcast, at Hobby Quick Hits Podcast, all one word. Our website is www.sportscardnation.net. Look for the link to Hobby Quick Hits. You'll find us there. And you can always text us on our text line, area code 315-491-0239.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.